If you watch the last 3 videos, then you know that what used to be your superpowers aren't anymore due to paradigm shifts, AI, and our saturated website development space. And now I'm telling you that if you don't enhance your human-only skills required in this AI-centric world, your agency will fail. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to enhance your unique value proposition with human-only skills that build trust and make yourself truly unique in our space. I'm going to share the 2 most important human-only skills that win more deals, and then I'm going to share my secret and simple trick. I know that's way overdone, but it really is a trick that works for always winning over the competition. Hey, I just wanted to pop in with a quick reminder. The WP Project Managers Academy materials are being updated and modernized, and we're creating a new course on project planning with AI, where you can do deeper planning, create more precise estimates, and it'll make managing website development projects fun again. We're rolling it out bit by bit. Much of it's free on our website and here on YouTube. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss anything, you can either hit the subscribe button or you can sign up for our newsletter over on our website. The link is below this video. And each week we send out a newsletter with a little bit of WordPress news, a little bit of industry news, a lot of AI news, some PM for profit tips and tricks, as well as an invitation to our Friday chat on Zoom. That's where you can ask questions or just decompress after a long week with fellow website folks. Okay, let's get back to the training. So what are some human-only skills that build trust? Well, the first is to establish yourself as a colleague, not a worker bee. Stop calling yourself a freelancer. People think those guys are flighty. It may not be true, but that's the perception in the marketplace. But if in your initial meetings, all you're doing is writing down instructions of things you're supposed to do for this client, you're a worker bee. That is not what you want to do. You want to ask smart, strategic questions that are focused on the client's business problems that can be solved with the website. Now, those business problems may be problems you can solve with the website or maybe not, but by discussing the full range of their business problems, you get a better understanding of the client and you seem way more professional. You want to listen more and talk less. All the other providers are going to come in and start talking about how good they are and what they can provide and isn't this beautiful. But what a client really respects is when you ask a question and then shut up and listen. And probably the most important part would be to show your client your processes that you have in place that help to control the project. What you're basically doing is educating the client on how website projects work. This helps the client, but it also helps you an awful lot later on in the project. So how are you supposed to enhance your UVP so that it's not tied to anything that changes and that AI can't touch? Well, we're getting there. And I'm not suggesting that you abandon your unique value proposition. You just need to enhance it like this. And I'm using these examples from a previous video where we discussed how these particular UVPs are not necessarily unique, but if you add these words, they will be. We build beautiful modern websites for small businesses to replace outdated sites so they can look more professional online, delivered on time and within budget. We create SEO-friendly websites for local businesses to rank higher on Google so they can attract more local customers, all delivered on time and within budget. Okay, I already know what you're thinking, but we'll get to that in a minute. We design conversion-focused websites delivered on time and within budget for service providers who want to turn more visitors into leads so they can grow their revenue. We deliver affordable websites for startups to help them launch quickly so they can get online without breaking the bank because we always deliver on time and within budget. Words like these means the customer doesn't need to try and compare you with other providers who provide the same value as you. Now you have something that makes you stand out. The reason that nobody in our space is doing this because they don't think they can deliver on time and within budget. They're too afraid of what might happen during the project. But you can do this, and I'm going to show you how. That's exactly what this YouTube channel is all about. So how do you guarantee on time within budget? There's 2 major things you have to do. The first one is to develop really good processes for change management, acceptance or approval management, estimating, client management, and a whole bunch more. I think there's about 10 critical processes along with some sub-processes. And once again, that's what this channel and the PM for Profit website is all about. The second thing you need to do is incorporate AI into your project planning process so you can provide more precise estimates, better proposals. And that's also coming on the PM for Profit website. Okay, so earlier I talked about human skills that you can work on and develop to foster trust from your client. But how does being able to guarantee getting done on time within budget, how does that breed trust? Well, you're going to come off looking like the quintessential professional, not a worker bee, because you're showing them that you already know what goes wrong on projects, but you've got processes in place to keep that from happening. Because what you're going to do is you're going to include those processes in your project defining documents, whether that's your contract, your proposal, your MSA, Master Services Agreement, whatever documents you use during your proposal process, these processes need to be peppered throughout there. And then as you walk through those documents, educating your client, you're setting the proper expectations, and they appreciate that an awful lot. If you've done everything like I said, which is create or refine those processes that you need, pepper them throughout your proposal or whatever documents you walk through with the client before they sign off, here is what you have covered during the walkthrough. First, you've covered that you don't pad estimates for things that you haven't expected or unknowns that might come up. A lot of folks do that, and it is a terrible way to estimate a project. You use your change control process instead. You've answered the question, how do you gather requirements? And what this does is it lets the client know what is expected of them during that discovery process, because so many clients think they just hand off after that first meeting and then you'll come back with a website. You've covered how you manage content, how you manage change and acceptance or approval, what happens when deadlines are missed, how final approval is managed, and finally, how you can ensure that you can guarantee to get done on time and within budget with the right features that meet the client's business requirements. So you've already covered that in a very subtle way by doing your walkthrough of your proposal, as long as those processes are in there. And here's the simple trick that always allows you to win over the competition. And that is you create a list of those questions and give the potential client that list of questions and tell them that you seriously want to make sure that they choose the right person, even if it's not you. And for them to do that, they should probably ask this list of questions to the next provider that they might be talking to. And I guarantee you that that competitor is not going to be able to answer those questions. They're afraid of those questions because they don't believe that they can deliver on time within budget, so they're not prepared to answer them. And quite frankly, some providers are offended by these questions. But as a business owner, these are questions that they should be asking, even if they're not. But they don't know that they should be asking these questions, so you're helping them out at the same time, setting yourself up as a professional and better than the next guy. Now, you can get a list of those questions over on the PM for Profit website. It's a free download, and it's actually more like a worksheet where you can see if you can already answer the questions. I give you what you should answer to those questions, and then I give you a copy of the questions that you can make copies of to use when you present things to clients. The link to that is below this video, so go over there, grab that download. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.